Hello and welcome to Caravanning with the Missus. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thanks for joining. Thanks for subscribing if you have subscribed, and if you haven't, we'd all awfully appreciate it if you didn't mind subscribing. That'd be great. So hello there. Thank you very much. Well, I've done all that. Anyway, so today's little vlog is a little thing that I've been meaning to do for quite a while. A little DIY job. I'm going to fix or have a go at fixing the coffee table in the D4-4. So it's a bit caravan specific because most caravans have their own variations of these. In fact, I think most caravans have a chest of drawers or something in the middle. But here in the D4-4, the Bailey Discovery D4-4, we've got a little coffee table like that. People who've got the D4-4 and maybe had it for a while are probably aware of the problem, and people who have only just got theirs or about to get it have yet to discover the fruits of the... what am I going on about? The problem. Okay, so the problem is with the coffee table. At the moment it's down, which isn't a problem at all. It's nice. A little bit of play in it, but that's okay. Problem is when you pull it up like so, it's, well, you've got a little bit of, as you can see, it's a bit wobbly, so a bit of play there. But also the bigger problem, in my opinion, is if you put some weight on it, like not a coffee cup, anything like that, but maybe like your dinner or a laptop or cameras and stuff, then it doesn't take much for it to just start bending a little bit like that. You probably can't see it, but it's actually just dipping down a tiny bit when I put a little bit of pressure on it. Look, like that. Ooh, that. There you go. So yeah. So I've had a look at it. Needless to say, I'm not a DIY expert, and as you probably already realise, I try and make use of things I've already got in the garage because it saves me going out buying a few bits and bobs. It's also a bit kinder to the planet as well, rather than buying stuff all the time. So yes, I try and make do. Usually it works. Usually I can cobble together a few bits to do the job. Sometimes I can't, or sometimes the job might not last very long. But anyway, I'll have a go. So I'll show you what I think the problem is, or what the problem is in my table. It may be different for different D4 owners, because obviously each caravan's a little bit unique. But what it is here is... right, so it's a little bit difficult to see. I'll put the phone underneath the camera, sorry, underneath the table. What it is, okay, so the table's up now, this bit here. And when I apply some downward pressure, you'll see this bit here. So we've got the hinges there and there. When I apply some downward pressure, you'll see this bit here. They're both screwed into this quite thin bit of wood. It's this that actually flexes a little bit. So look, I'll demonstrate. I'll put a little bit of pressure, not much pressure, on the table, and you'll see it flex a little bit. Now, I don't know if you can see it, sort of more flexing a little bit there and a little bit over there. Yeah, you can just see it moving there. So that's the main problem. If you put pressure on it, it's just a bit flexible there. But also the other thing is, you can see there's a bit of play that I was talking about earlier, which quite a lot of play, which is in these hinges here. This chap here and over the other side, and the reason for that is because the slot in this arm for this to wedge into just here is quite large, and therefore allows quite a bit of play. So there's not an awful lot I can do about that slot, other than what I could maybe do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can make this more solid. And then I suppose what I could do is see if I can bring this out a little bit. So bring the bottom of this towards me a little bit, wedge it with something, I don't know. But if I can sort of just angle this bit of wood here, so the bottom bit is just that way by a couple of millimeters. So to do this, I've got in the garage, I found a nice piece of wood, which I've cut to length. In our Caravan, it's 55 centimeters. So I suppose that'll be the same for all D4-4s. Here it is. Dum bum bum. Nice bit of wood. It was a batten actually. It was used as a batten in the kitchen wall in the house. So I've cut that. It's about, yeah, cut that to shape, to length, about 55. I'm going to wedge it in here, nice tight fit, and then I'm going to pop it behind there. I'm going to screw it, you can see it just about wedges in actually. I'm going to screw it to this bit of wood and also the hinges here, there and there. I'm going to unscrew them. Yeah, I'm going to unscrew these two little screws. Oh, I won't show you with that torch. There and there. I'm going to take those screws out and replace those with longer wood screws. At the moment they're screwing into a bolt at the back, but I'm going to see if I can replace them with these little chaps if they'll fit. So quite long, and then they'll go through those holes, through this bit of wood, and then my batten will be on the other side, so hopefully it'll screw in there and then hold it all together. So I'm going to do that for those screws and those ones there. Actually, if I look, you can see the play in that groove. Hang on, I think focus. There. No, I don't think you can quite see it. Bit tricky holding the camera and everything. Yeah, so that's the play there. You could probably see it. Seeing that little groove there, there's quite a lot of play there. Also, if we have a look here, you can see when it's at its rest position, see that's the bit it's supposed to be level with, you can see there it's dipping down a bit. So in its normal rest position it's on a bit of a droop. So I say it'd be nice if I could wedge something in there to just bring that up a bit, but also to make it a bit more sturdy, so that if I press down on it, it doesn't flex quite so much, because that's my main worry. We put our lunch on there and then all of a sudden it droops a little bit too far. So let's have a go, see how we crack on with this. Alright, so that's the table removed, which is quite easy, these little things. So what I'm going to do next is remove these two screws, those two, because obviously when I put the batten on, they'll be preventing the batten from going flush to this piece of wood here. Plus they're not really doing an awful lot, because you can see this bit of wood is being screwed into this bit of wood by these cunning little things. I'll just shine the torch on it. Yeah, those cunning little things there they like to use in some caravans. There's one there and one there. So that's what's fastening it onto that bit there. So I'm going to remove these two screws so that my batten can go flush, and then I'm going to use, these do just about fit, so I'm going to use a couple of these wood screws which are going to go through, they're going to secure the table hinge through that piece of wood there and then into my batten along the back there. And to be honest, that's probably enough. I'll need to make it rigid to stop that, to stop it flexing when you put weight on it. Right, so just putting the batten behind the, there you go, behind the bit of wood, fits nice and snug. I've just got to mark out where the screws go. So with that, just mark it out in there. I think I'll do a couple of little pilot, well not a couple, 4 little pilot holes before I start putting those screws in, because they're quite big. So just about see the, well, you know what pilot holes look like. There's one there, there, and the same two on the other end. So with my drill, I'm just going to go away and do a couple of little pilot holes. Right, pilot holes drilled. I was just thinking actually it'd be handy to everybody if I knew the size of this screw that I'm going to use. Don't actually know the size of it. As usual, it was in my mishmash of screws and stuff, but it fits. I do know it fits very, very, very snugly into the hinge, into there, very snugly indeed. Which is nice because then obviously it'll be a nice secure fit, hold things nice and tight. So yeah, let's see if I can film a little bit of this. Got the camera on a tripod at the moment. So there's a snug fitting batten up there. Bum bum, make sure it's fitting nice and snug. My pilot holes obviously facing this way. And then, alright, in fact it's so snug it'll hold itself up there, which is handy. Because, right, let's get the... Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this screw in and I'm going to pop this funny shaped washer behind the hinge, the table hinge there. So let's just see if I can hold it in, position it with my fingers, pop that through. Hang on, let's drop this. See if I can drop that down a bit because that's in the way. You probably can't see, so that's going through the washer there and then into the hole there. And hold the batten up. A bit tricky all this, holding it all together. And then sweating as well because it's getting nice and warm outside. It's been rather wet this morning, but that heat's still there. There you go. So there they are. Bottom one's got the, yeah, it's got the washer behind it. Top one hasn't, so it's a bit of an angle. Same on the other side. So now we can see at that hinge, oh, there's a lot. In fact, there's no play at all. Oh, so it's looking good. So if we have a look at my level now, bum, bum, bum. Pop that on there. Oh, it's gone. Oh, it's a bit too good. Huh. So you can see on a straight edge, it's got a little bit, don't know if you can see it on the camera, a little bit of a gap just in the middle. But then if I apply a little bit of pressure, gap goes. It's nice and level now. So tiny, tiny, tiny little bit of play in it there, that way. But certainly better. And what's bending? There's nothing bending that. Yeah, I can put quite a bit of weight on it now, and you can see that that piece of wood is no longer bending. So all I've done is just screwed these into the nice thick batten at the back. That batten there. But of course, what I could do is secure the batten to the table behind there. But if you look at it, if you flex it, there's no give there. It's just the hinge now that's just flexing a bit. So at least it's being held nice and tightly. So yeah, so a job well done. So I just used all just bits of leftovers. I'm sure most of you probably wouldn't go and get bits from B&Q and stuff. But the thing is, I find if I do all that, it takes about an hour for us anyway to get down to B&Q, get all the bits. By the time I've done all that, it's the morning gone. So that's another reason why I like to just use the bits that I've already got in the garage, make do, and as long as it's good enough. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've found this, I don't know about interesting, educational, useful. There you go. Hope you found this useful. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed, please. Laters taters.